Hey everyone, Cherie Warwick here, blackblockchainconsultants.com. If you want to be a part of our inner circle where we talk all about blockchain and how to make money in this $3.1 trillion industry, please reach out to us at blackblockchainconsultants.com. Okay, so there was a gentleman on CNBC talking about how to invest in the blockchain. So we're going to watch this 2-minute video together and we are going to talk just for a few minutes about what he said and what we can pick up as blockchain consultants. So I'm going to share my screen here and let's get started. So this gentleman is Steve Leonard of SG Innovate, and he is on CNBC. Today is December 20th, and he did this 14 hours ago, so he talked about this yesterday. Great.
Well, I think a lot of people have equated blockchain with cryptocurrencies as the only two ways that you can think about this technology. We believe that there's a lot of great use cases for blockchain, but candidly, we're still in the learning phase, still trying to experiment. We like things that involve digital identity or digital asset management. So we think that blockchain has a lot of future. We don't necessarily jump on that it's the next internet bandwagon, but we think there's a lot of exciting use cases.
Okay then, so he said a few things in there that we want to break down. He did say that there's a lot of use cases. They're very much interested in digital identity. Now this is a healthcare guy. And the reason he's talking about digital identity is because digital identity is probably the most leveraged thing that the healthcare industry will use within blockchain. Now, he also said that he doesn't see blockchain as, the greatest thing since the internet. I kind of disagree with that, just because this is the next stage and the next phase of that. But, that's his opinion. There's going to be a lot of wealth made, and believe me, he is not only paying attention, he's putting money into it as well, as you will hear from the rest of his discussion.
You say it's got a lot of future, but you know what? It's one of those things where, remember maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago, we didn't even understand the cloud. The people like, okay, I know I need to be in the cloud, but I don't know how and I don't know why. If blockchain is almost the same, how do you invest in blockchain when you don't even fully understand it in some cases?
Well, as an example, SG Innovate, my team, we back early stage deep tech entrepreneurs. We want to help men and women bring science out to the rest of the world in ways that we believe solve important problems. Blockchain is one example of areas that we're investing in, but in a careful way. What we're looking at is this idea of medical records and the idea of managing healthcare information on the blockchain. So when we think about the type of use case, we would invest in the equity of the company. We would not invest in tokens of the company. So we're trying to stay away from all this idea of speculation and invest in the underlying men and women that are building blockchain applications, healthcare being one.
All right, so let's talk about this. He said two things in that segment that I want you to hone in on. Actually, he said three things. So the first thing he talked about was the woman asked about, how do you invest in the blockchain when you don't understand it? Well, the same way you invested in Amazon when you didn't understand it, or we know that wireless works, for example, but we may not understand how. But we still invest, $100, $200 a month in getting our wireless so that the internet works. So companies were investing in these things because they knew that they were important. They knew it was the next step in the evolution. Number two, he talked about focus, and that's something that we as Black blockchain consultants have to do. I've always told you, pick a major, pick a niche. His company has picked the niche of healthcare and how their healthcare period, but how the blockchain is going to work with healthcare. My suggestion to you is pick a niche. Decide what you want to be known for in the industry and go deep with it. The final thing that he said in that little segment, which I hope you picked up on, is they do not invest in tokens. Now, I'm not telling you not to invest in Bitcoin or any other altcoins, but the way that he intends to get rich is not about investing in the cryptocurrency. He said we invest in the men and women and in the underlying technology. And you may say, well, Cherie, we're not SG Innovate. We don't have, hundreds of millions or, $500,000 to put into a blockchain project. No, but you have your time. Individually, you have your time. You may have a little bit of money to put in a blockchain project. So you know what? Whenever possible, put your money in getting in your time, in getting some form of equity. That's where the real money is made. When these companies are sold for hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars, because I have said it for a while, I believe that these blockchain companies are going to be gobbled up by Google, Facebook, Amazon, and these big companies. That is just a natural cycle of things. When that happens, when that company is sold for $100 million, if you only own the cryptocurrency and you don't own equity in the business, you get none of that $100 million. Okay? So we just want to be smart about this and understand what the true game is here and what the true play is here. So let's finish listening.
You mentioned healthcare technology there, Steve, and medtech, as it's known, is another area that you're focused on for next year. But it's not as simple as it looks, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, certainly the path to commercialization for anything involving health is difficult. The regulatory environment is complicated in different countries. The investment returns take longer to realize. Perhaps the biggest reality is just the adoption curve. So when we think about areas that are important for humanity, health tech, med tech, different devices, different diagnostics, we think are terribly important. An aging population means that things have to evolve because there's not enough caregivers. But the path to that adoption, the path to that acceptance is more difficult than with a consumer application.
Okay. Alrighty then. So let's do our final discussion here with regards to the final few things that he talked about. I'm going to start backwards, and one of the last things he talked about was the aging population. So they're looking on a macro scale in terms of what's happening. You want to do the same thing. Follow the money. And with them, the money is in the aging population.
Oops. Right? They balance the slowdown in the economy.
Sorry, everybody.
Utilization rates are very high, and they've indicated that after 3 years.
CNBC decided it just wanted to start up again. Okay, so let's get back to this. So they are following the money with the aging population. They also talked about regulation. And regulation in terms of global regulation for healthcare. You want to think about whatever industry you're in, not just how it affects the United States, but because blockchain is a global mechanism, you want to think globally as well. He talked about adoption affecting investment returns. And yes, this is the last thing that I want to say about this. If you think that you're going to be a multimillionaire tomorrow with blockchain, you are probably mistaken. There is going to be a curve of mass adoption, just like there was a curve of mass adoption with Internet 1.0, which was just the start of the Internet. There was a curve of mass adoption with Internet 2.0, which was social media. There is a curve and an adoption scale for Internet 3.0, which is the blockchain. However, if we wait until mass adoption to get into the game, we are not going to make as much money as if we were there from the very beginning. So I'll give you a great example. The people who were there for MySpace and the advent of YouTube and the advent of Instagram and Facebook are much, much farther along than those of us, like me, who waited for like mega mass adoption. It's the truth. Doesn't mean I don't make money on YouTube and Facebook today, but imagine how much more money I would have made if I was riding the wave earlier on. That's what you want to do as well. Now, I'll tell you something else. Let's go back to this whole social media thing. I have seen people that were using Periscope for a while, or they were using, oh gosh, there was another platform that began with the B. It's escaping me right now. There are platforms, social media platforms that come and go. And I never saw, at least the one person that I'm thinking of, I never saw that one person say, oh my goodness, you know, I wasted all of my time with that one social platform. No, that wasn't what happened. What he did was he spread himself out amongst a few different platforms so that the one that took off, he was there with it, and the others, you know, okay, well, just, you know, it didn't work out. I want to encourage you to do the same thing. You're looking at different use cases. You're looking at different industries within the blockchain. You're looking at different methodologies of making money within the blockchain. Never ever think that just because something didn't work means that it is a waste of time, because it's not. You do want to have a certain amount of focus, but you also want to just think about how can I leverage a few different things so that when one of them pops, you're there to take advantage of it. So that's it for me. Hope you enjoyed today's video in regards to CNBC, talking about how to invest in the blockchain. I agree with 90% of what Steve said. And tell us in the comments what you think. What was the one thing that you know, sparked something in your head in regards to what he is saying? That's it for me. God bless you. Don't forget, if you want to join the inner circle, want to participate in our classes, we have a Blockchain 101 class. We have our how to start a 6-figure blockchain consulting company. And that class is happening right now. It's a 4-part class. We are on part 3 tonight, but you can still catch up, or you can, if you're listening to this, you know, several months from now, you know, just get the replays, participate. We have other classes coming up in the first quarter of 2018. We've got a lot of stuff happening within Black Blockchain Consultants. Our goal is to help you make money from this $3.1 trillion industry. So check the links below, and God bless you. Have a great day.